Okay, back on Unit 5, this is our third video, so we're on 5C. On the back is where we are, and we're going to start looking at the correlation coefficient with the scatter plots, linear regression, exponential regression, and then end with residuals. So we're going to go over a quick review. I think in general you're probably realizing that when you go back and review this stuff, it's not as hard as it was when you first learned it. So starting with the correlation coefficient, that is our R value. We use the variable R. It doesn't mean radius. We're not dealing with circles, so we shouldn't get that confused. It shows the strength and the direction. So by that, I mean that if your correlation coefficient is 0, then that tells you that there is no correlation at all. All right, if your correlation coefficient is positive, then that tells you that it has a positive correlation. So the scatter plot points should be increasing. And if your correlation coefficient is negative, then that tells you that your scatter plot should have a negative correlation, or the points are going down as you go to the right. Then it tells us strength, and this one is the strongest. That's like perfect. And then -1 is also the strongest, but it's the strongest going in the negative direction. And then right in here, we would probably call these weak. And then when you have no correlation, that's when your R value is 0. That there is none, so it's not even weak. There isn't even a correlation between the pieces of information. So that's just a quick review on the correlation coefficient. So our examples: sketch a scatter plot to show the described correlation coefficient. So strong negative would look something like this. And it doesn't necessarily tell you how many points you need, but strong would be that the points are close together, so it's convincing information. The relationship between the two pieces of information is negative, which means as one increases, one decreases, but the correlation coefficient being a 1 tells you that it's a strong negative correlation. So weak positive is almost the opposite here. So it's going to go up in a positive direction, but it's not very convincing. So while you do see a pattern, the points are pretty spread out. So we would call this positive. The points are definitely increasing as they go to the right, but it's not really convincing because they're spread out.